So now I've worked out a way to do a 3 strikes and you're out rule, so I'll run through that hopefully fairly quickly. So I want that to come out, and I actually want to go up but not interfere with that. How can I do that? If I I should be able to do that. So now I'm going to use yellow wool to show our enter line. There we go. That should get me up and over without too much interference. So if I run a line up and over there, and again that wire I don't want it connecting, so I'm just going to cut it like that. Now this wire is free to go wherever I want it to go. Now what we are going to do is we're just going to bring it out here so that we've got it nice and clear, because this requires a few more pistons. Okay, so what we need to do now is when this piston extends, we also need it to extend a piston out here, because if you want the kids, if you want them to have to press enter, let me go back and explain. If you don't want the 3 strike and you're out, you don't actually need the enter button at all. They get the code right, the door opens or whatever, and it's done. If you want the enter button, you need to have this enter line, and this is what enables you to have the 3 strikes and you're out sort of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to come out further than that. Now I'm just going to put a repeater in here to make sure my signal is strong. So when this piston extends, I want that to also extend another piston out here. So I'm going to put a piston there, and I'm going to use my yellow blocks again. So what's going to happen, I could probably just put that repeater up there, is I need to run a wire from here over to that piston, which is actually quite easy to do. So I'm going to use yellow. Now that looks like it's going to connect, but I am going to put another one straight up there which will disconnect it. Now as I said, this is pretty intense wiring, which is why I'm trying to do a tutorial on this. I need to go obviously up some more. That should work. And then I just need to run down into this line here. Now I'm probably going to need a repeater up here just to make sure the signal is long enough. So now when I press my 4 button, hopefully that piston over the other end there will extend, which will be the first of our, so it has, and then when I press reset it's not going to yet. So if I press reset, oh no, it does, excellent. Fantastic. So now we need our second, I'm thinking of these as tumblers in a lock, so we need to line up our second tumbler, and that's going to be at the same time this piston extends. So I'll do the same thing, I'll line it up with that, use the yellow, and we will use a repeater to push the current through the block and bring it out the other end. Now I need to bring a wire from here now over to there. So what I'm going to do, if I could get my hands on the keyboard properly, is, oh, that doesn't need to be there. I'm probably going to have to come out and around this way, I think. So if I start going up here, I might run a vertical wire This is going to slow it down a little bit, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. And if we go up one more, probably should start coming down. There we go. So if I get rid of that, oh, that might be a problem there. We'll see how we go. So I might add a repeater in just so I make sure we've got enough of now. Hopefully if I press 4 and then 8, that piston will extend. Again, I do this different every time. I've only done this once today. 4, so hopefully, yep, that piston's extended. Excellent. So now when I press 8, no, it hasn't. That's a wiring fault. What can I do there? I somehow need to get that to recognize that it's actually going into the piston, which is not like any of that. I know what I can do. If I do that, that will charge it. Right, so now when that's pressed, if I press the reset button, both of those should pull back, and they do. So there's our first 2 tumblers. Now for our third tumbler, we need another piston, and that comes off this line here, so the same as our success criteria. I'm actually going to remove our success criteria because I want that line, because this time our success criteria is coming from somewhere else. So this line is just to drive another piston that's out here, and our third, what we'll call our third tumbler. So if I put another piston down, a yellow block, we push the current into that block, then this line here becomes our success criteria when enter is pressed. So now when I press 483, the green wiring will allow me to press them in the correct sequence, and these yellow wires will get me to my success criteria here, which will come out. Ooh, I'll bring it back this way so it doesn't go too far away. Why did that go? Oh, because, so I need to reset that to the way it should be, and I also will need to probably bring my reset line to it, just to make sure. Now I think I should be right. Let's give it a crack. So now when I press 483, that RS null latch should trigger, and that output there, if I go a little bit closer you can actually see it, that output there should come on. That's our success criteria now that we've got the enter button. So 4, 8, 3, and all 3 of those pistons have extended. I didn't press enter. Silly me. Need to press enter for this one to work. So I press enter, and that RS null latch has been triggered. So now hopefully when I hit reset, all of that will retract and go back to the way it should. Yep, perfect. So that's the start of the enter button